This is Lavistro, the Dragon of Cyberspace, coming to you with all news, tips, and tricks within the gaming spectrum. And this is the first episode of Reviews of the Wyrm. I've been promising to make this video ever since we completed the Aska series. It was about 4 episodes back in the beginning of this channel's live streams for Lavistro Plays. And I kept putting it off because, well, I just didn't want to do it, to be perfectly honest. But we're reviewing Aska. I'm not going to say it's a bad game, but from what I was led to believe and what it was were two different things, if that makes sense. Do keep in mind that the game is in early access. So it's still in development. You know, it's still got things you got to fine tune and fix. If you get it on Steam, you'll see a video where it showcases that you can build buildings, you can explore, and you're growing a community and surviving. Now, it has a lot of mostly positive reviews, and I won't disagree with that, right? If you like city building games, this is your game. Like, I won't lie. This is a good game for city building. Most city building games I have played in the past were isometric or bird's eye view games. Here you're on a third-person player perspective. So you're not just invisible hand in the sky placing buildings down. You're right there in the nick of things with everyone else. It has survival skills. Some people try to call it a survival RPG, and I disagree with that. While it does have survival mechanics, and it does have RPG elements, it is not an RPG. It is most likely a survival city building game. Aska is based off of Norse mythology. I say Norse because they say Viking, but Viking is a profession. You don't go and say, I'm half farmer. Not everyone in Norse history was a Viking. You know, not everyone raided villages. Some were farmers, some were other things. You start off by choosing your character, male or female, and you wake up, washed up on shore, and there's this big Jotun in the ocean that walks away. And the first thing you got to do is build shelter and grab food. You have needs that you need to meet. From building shelter, you need to build other things like a storage shed, watchtowers. You know, you got to eventually get more characters. So you need to find Jotun blood, which you build the Eye of Odin, and from there you can recruit more villagers, right? And that was one thing that kind of annoyed me was, okay, you have a physically fit Viking male character as a player, or a physically fit Viking female character. Both look awesome and beautiful in their own way. But the villagers you summon are hid. The males look like your typical male. They have, you know, they're physically fit, probably not as much as the male character is. You know, they're not really good looking because, you know, obviously they're just extras, right? But they're a little more physically appealing than the female characters, right? The female characters are bald and kind of frumpy looking, you know. But in the AI, and when I played it, and the AI was very poor when it comes to path tracking. You had to micromanage everything. It was kind of hard to design the cities the way you wanted it. Yes, you could terraform the environment. You could do all kinds of things, but it was hard to go exploring. That's what I wanted to do. Like, some of the images show that you could fight skeletons. I didn't get to fight a skeleton. I didn't really get to do much exploring the map. Most of the thing I was doing was building the city, going around. It took a while. By the second year, I should say, I had somewhat of a functioning town, but then by that time period, I was preparing for the gods. Like, it was just one thing after another. I had to prepare for winter. I had to prepare for attacks. I had to prepare for Viking raids. I had to prepare for, well, not Viking raids. I had to prepare for animal raids.
Not as well as I'd like. We're a small outpost and not very self-sufficient. And I've had supply problems of every kind. I've had labor difficulties. What's so funny?
You, listen to you. Sound like a businessman or a responsible leader. Who'd have thought that, huh?
The key thing in the first year cycle, right? The core game loop is you're just building. You're gathering resources and building. Build. And finding Jotun blood. Or I should say, once you establish your basic needs, you're finding Jotun blood to have villagers do kind of an automated program for you. Then you have to build the defenses And you will have builders and everything else, but it takes a while to get to Jotun Blood. It takes a while for them to come in. It takes like 5 minutes or so, but a lot can happen in a strategy game in 5 minutes. I was like, okay, let's get this built. Let's get this built. Let's get that built. Okay, now we got that built. Let's get this farm going. Let's get the food going. Let's get this going. And in my live streams, I wasn't reacting with the chat. It was more of a chore because I wanted to go explore the island. That's really what I wanted to do. And so by the time we hit the second year and we had to prepare for the god's arrival, I had got, I would say, about 98% of all the achievements to unlock. Currently, all I need to unlock still on the achievements, and I haven't gone back to it, is things I can easily do right now, like start a new game and do right now. Hunt something, which is predator. Cook a dozen red meat steaks. Nice catch, which is fish something. Farmhand, do all the farming related activities. Fried fish, cook a dozen fish steaks. Mushroom, collect a sizable amount of mushrooms. Fisherman, discover a rare fish. Like, that's all I need to do. And and I'm not trying to criticize the game. Like I said, it's a really good game. They're constantly updating the features. Like recently in August, they said that they did some updates to the AI. They improved the villager AI. They did some villager AI improvements. Excuse me. Added some more buildings and updated stuff. They have a roadmap of where they're going. Like I said, keep in mind that this is in development still. Okay, it's not like it's going to be horrible, or it's an indie company doing a really good game. I want to say that, as negative as I am about it, please understand, I do think it is a really good game. It's just not the game for me. I did not enjoy it as much. But once I play a game, I will either enjoy it or force myself to finish it, because I can't leave a game unfinished. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a game that doesn't have woke elements in it, lets you do some survival skills, build your own village from the ground up, collect resources to make that, like, you have to collect your own resources. You have to mine, you have to log, you have to fish, you have to hunt, you have to do all these things yourself, farming, all of it. And get the requirements to make certain things. You have to build your tools to build the buildings. Like, it's a really in-depth and detailed game. I won't lie. And it can be challenging. But if you survive one winter, then it's just like the civilizations and other city sims. Once one event happens, then you got another event. Then you got another event. And within 2 years, if you play your cards right, you will have most of the achievements. I didn't hunt for my food. I foraged. I scalloped. I had, once I was able to get a hunter, I had him hunting the food, but he was horrible at it. We were pretty much vegans for a while. That was my main issue, because I was mostly focused on trying to get shelter up and get enough people in there to, at first, automate the resource gathering for food, water, and resources needed for building, but also, because I knew I was going to eat later on, try to amass enough villagers to defend against incoming dangers and threats, and building walls. Like, that was another thing that was a headache. I had to constantly build walls. Couldn't keep the area small, and like there's some places that could have had some improvement. Like some of the things they had was like you had a crude rudimentary shelter, and later on you unlocked the longhouse. Personally, I think that you should be allowed to. They should have done it to where, yeah, you can have the crude shelter, but we can rebuild those shelters as those longhouses. You have your Viking chief's house for yourself. Another thing was they had a open fire pit, and then they had a cooking station at another area. I was like, well, that could have changed, right? So you're sitting there, and like, I haven't even found a place to mine yet, and that wasn't even an achievement. I haven't found a cave area to mine. to build a monument, to explore tunnels, to get iron, which I would have needed later on. Like I said, I couldn't explore, and when you can't for a person who likes to explore a map, that's what's fun to me. If I tried to explore, people have problems, so I'm stuck there. I knew more about the little area of my village than I did about the entire map. The villagers were exploring areas to find food and resources, or they would just sit around, So that was my main complaint. Like I said, I'm probably not good at these type of city building games. The last time I played a city building game was Age of Empires 3. Yeah, that's how long ago it was for me. But overall, if you like city building games and you like the challenges of micromanaging every little thing a villager has to do, and you want to see it from a different perspective, a bird's eye view, yeah, I highly recommend Aska. But if you're wondering if it's a survival RPG, in my personal experience and view, no, it's not a survival RPG. It's a survival city building game. You can get it on Steam right now. With that, this is Lavistro, the Dragon of Cyberspace, coming. And that. What do you think, viewer? Did you watch the Aska streams? Do you like city builder games? Did you play Aska? Put your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, happy gaming.